Hello guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. There's a little hitch. Um, Oluwadamini, can you like get me? Oluwadamini, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, guys. So there was a little problem about my phone, but I think I've rectified it. Yep. Oluwadamini, can you get me? Oluwadamini, can you get me? Um, I'm sorry, Oluwadamini. I think something just happened. Oh, hello there.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry
back.
about that. I think there was something some technical itch about my network.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay,
Yeah, stuff like this happens, especially when you're having important conversations like this. So,
yeah, sure, sure. I don't know why. Like, if we could be having comedy right here, maybe it could have gone for like 2 hours without doing anything. But when we're talking about serious things,
right,
that's when the hitches just come along.
right.
Yeah, so as I was saying here, the LGBT students were restricted from themselves, accommodating boarding schools. And I also have to appreciate, like, we have I 20 of a girl by the name Makena Jerry. She does take active part in or to request or to demonstrate the rights for the LGBT people.
Hmm.
But too bad that here in Kenya we don't have a male figure to fight for the rights, because I believe unity is strength. And if we have only one female voice rather that is talking about LGBT, it can never be heard. But if we have one guy who because fighting for LGBT rights, it's like sacrificing yourself, because once you start doing that, there's some people who gonna cut you off. There's some people who gonna see you as an outcast. So I think that's what most Kenyans do, because I can testify to you that one thing I've come to realize, and not only in Kenya, but let me say in Kenya, like, because Kenya is a country that I know much, that to be honest, I think most LGBT people are the ones who are in marriage than those who have come outside. Simply because they're trying to hide in marriages, because they be like, when I marry this guy or when I marry this girl, no one is gonna think that I'm gay or I'm lesbian. Does the
Hmm.
same thing happen to the US, or the US more people are the ones who are coming out as LGBT?
So yes, my
Mm,
response to that it will be first, yes, it does happen more often than people think.
yeah,
And it comes from what you said, like a lot of people, some people not even comfortable with themselves, let
mm,
alone comfortable with the backlash of what will happen if they came out as same gender loving.
yeah,
Um, and I would say, I I totally don't agree. And in America we call it DL, the DL
yeah, okay,
lifestyle.
yeah, mm,
And DL stands for down low. And
yeah,
I hate when there are families involved and they're the victims of whoever feeling whatever type of way. Like, even though I understand, because I once was DL before, so
yeah,
I get it. I get it, right? But at the same time, it becomes selfish when you only think about yourself and don't care how it affects everyone else.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is something I had to realize also the hard way. And so yes, it does happen. It happens, like I say, more often than people are willing to admit.
Mm,
And as far as when it comes to like having a male figure step up for LGBT rights, that
mm,
is cool. But I will say in America, like it has been very helpful to have, especially Black women,
mm,
to stand up for us, and that's because they have a natural nurturing aspect. And a lot of
yeah.
us are these mothers' children. Like
Mm,
my mom, she don't like my lifestyle. She don't like that I'm attracted to men, but she will go crazy if somebody tried to harm me.
yeah,
And
affirmative.
a lot of the women who standing up for LGBTQ plus people have
Mm,
those same feelings and sentiments. And a lot of like my sisters, like I call all my extended family brothers and sisters. But a lot of the sisters that I'm around, they are the same way. They will go to war if they found out somebody is gay bashing me, or they found like somebody is
yeah,
hating me,
yeah,
before a man would, and a lot of times before a gay man would. So I do feel like having sisters in the fight, especially for LGBTQ plus rights,
yeah.
is key. But I do
Mm,
understand what you're saying about there's no male representation. And
yeah,
I will say, just the little bit I know about like um, different different cultures and African countries,
hmm,
a male speaking up about LGBT rights, I don't see him
yeah,
being respected as much as a female
sure.
would.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because once you label yourself as LGBT and Q plus in African countries, it's like you just lose all respect when it comes to
affirmative.
other men. They really don't
Yeah,
care. They really don't care what you have to say. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
sure.
a lot of these women, they have high places, they have husbands, they have like different connections where they're able to help push the agenda. And the same
Mm,
here in the States too.
I get you. So here in Kenya, heading to the laws here in Kenya, so LGBT is considered as unconstitutional. So there are no rights for the LGBTQ people. In fact, when like when a man is noticed on the road or maybe on the way who has cross-dressed, man, he might be beaten up like a I don't know what to say like or what, but he can be roughly beaten up, and people saying like he's behaving like a lady. So um, are there any rights for the LGBT people in the US?
I would answer that. I would say it's two answers to that question. I would say
Yeah,
there's in America, well, like most places, you have written laws.
yeah,
Then you also have unwritten laws, right?
yeah,
And the only thing in America is that the unwritten laws tend to um like tend to outweigh the written
hmm,
laws a lot of the
yeah,
times. And so like written law, yes, we just had like national legislation passed to protect
yeah,
LGBTQ plus people. Um, but also, like I was telling you before, in the Black
yeah,
community, a lot of those laws don't matter, don't, and they're not like if a trans sister got killed and she's Black,
yeah,
the police all our resources in to find out or apprehend the killer. Or same with gay Black men. And so I would say yes, there are laws.
I think there's a issue with your network, but
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I can now hear you. Yeah, mm,
You can you
I
hear
can
me
hear you.
now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so I was basically saying like the police, like as far as the laws, they're not going to protect Black trans women who has been murdered, as they
yeah, sure.
would
Yeah,
a white woman. or
Okay.
a police officer, right? And if there's supposed to be protections, it's supposed to be equal
Mm-hmm.
protections, not
Mm-hmm.
based on who you want to protect when you want to protect them. So
I get you.
as far as that, I don't feel like we're a protected class. That's Black
Yeah.
LGBTQ plus. But let something happen to someone that's white and gay or something like that, then they release all the resources that they can.
Yeah, affirmative. So if you're comfortable with this, I think I'm going to invite maybe I'm going to invite two of our audience. One is going to be a male and the other one is going to be a female. So one we have he's Ricky NN. So I'm going to accept his request. And there was a certain girl who was supposed to join us. I don't know where he's gone. So I'm going to accept his request. Maybe he's going to ask a question.
Okay.
Okay. You know, here in Kenya, when we hear someone is coming from the States, you'd be like, man, you know, the States here in Kenya is like heaven, man. Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, yeah. I've accepted his request, so he's supposed to be live. I mean, it's everyone's dream here in Kenya to go to the States. They can even leave their job and their education to come to the States. So it's not a big deal, man.
yes, and I get that. At the same time, they just have to realize they come into a a place that's really hell for people that look like us.
Yeah,
Even though that's why I tell people you can't pay attention to what you see in the media. For
yeah, sure.
one, because we don't control the media here. So of
Yeah,
course
yeah,
what
yeah.
you see is bread and butter.
Yeah.
But black people aren't the ones that push the media. So
Mm.
they come here and they get reality real fast.
Yeah, yeah, affirmative. So, and the get is not like actually what they see in the media, it's something totally different.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Let me
Yes.
try. Let me try to reach them. I don't know why is just a minute if you don't mind.
I'm fine. You cool.
I think I requested them to join the video. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me see if the request is on. Let me check them. Let me give them some time. Etipefa, I can see you saying yo, thanks bro. So Etipefa, I can see September is on here. Thank you. I can see Leones Reisnap. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I can see I am Joseph K. I can see 12345 FGA. Man, that name even doesn't exist. I've never read such kind of a name in my entire life. So DN Luco joined. Thanks. Katalia Paliska joined, and Ricky NN joined, and Lynn Inas joined. We do appreciate rather, and others who have joined. So I don't know why they're delaying. Uh, it's supposed to be on.
He
Let us
said
give
he
them
couldn't
like two
stretch it.
minutes. Yeah, let it, like 2 minutes. If they'll not be there by 2 minutes, so we'll just have a good excuse, that we gave them the opportunity, but they were not online. But I've texted them online personally.
Okay, he said someone said they can accept, but they also can ask their questions in the chat too.
Yeah, sure, sure. Uh-huh. Hmm.
Technology, technology.
Technology, man. So you should be joining. Ah, yeah, young boss just joined. Yo, yo.
Hey, hello.
What's up, bro?
Oh, what's up? How are you, man?
All right,
Man, we good. Maybe you.
How are you, Laudamini?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, brother. How you?
I'm fine. My name is Patrick.
Okay, nice to meet you, Patrick.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
So,
First of all,
Patrick.
to say a big thank you to Laudamini for. I can see we are well represented, black
Yeah,
people,
affirmative,
even
man.
in the States.
And with the dreads too, man.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
means a lot to us.
Yeah, affirmative.
Yeah.
Yes.
So from the introduction, I had that you are an activist.
I would prefer to be labeled a revolutionary. Activists highlight issues. Revolutionaries
Okay.
change these issues.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
oh, I get it. I get it now.
Yes.
So, when maybe I can ask two or more questions, maybe. So I'm
Yes, yes.
asking, yeah. So, I would like to know when you started being a revolutionist.
Well, I started activism in
Uh-huh.
after the Ferguson uprisings, after the murder of Mike Brown.
Uh-huh.
I guess you
Sorry
could
about that.
say, transitioning into a revolutionary when I
Mm-hmm.
realized not only the lies that came out of that situation, but
Mm-hmm.
the promises that we got from that situation that have
Mm-hmm.
still yet to this day to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's like I'm tired of just talking about what needs to be changed. I need to be at these tables
Mm-hmm.
to bring this change. And confidence and courage to speak.
That's really nice. And what kind of an advice would you give somebody who want to be a revolutionist?
I would say that you can't do it alone, no matter how much we want to. You need a core, like a core of at least 5 people to help
Uh-huh.
push your agenda and ideas. And try to make it as diverse as possible, so that it's just not everybody agreeing to the same thing. You want, like,
Mm-hmm.
even though, like, confrontation is good sometimes. So you don't want
Mm-hmm.
everyone who just thinks alike, because you won't really get no movement, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That, and um, I would say, um, just me being a spiritual person is, you definitely need, like, God or a relationship with the Creator,
Mm-hmm.
which who I know, and the ancestors, which who I know
Mm-hmm.
are who guide me through this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what they guide you through goes against what humans feel, and
Yeah.
what the government may feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But um, it's still holding true to that, and what's true in your heart, that you know what's right, right? Um,
Yeah.
and fighting, and willing to fight
Oh,
and sacrifice for other
thank you
things.
so much
Informative. So
for
before
answering.
we proceed,
Dennis,
Patrick,
let me finish with Dennis. So I
bro.
want to say thank you to Laudamini for
Yeah.
answering my questions. Then I
Okay.
want to commend you guys for having such a great and sensitive conversation. It takes
Yeah.
confidence, you know.
Yeah. Sure.
All
Affirmative.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good job.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank
Then
Thanks,
you.
bro. You know, bro.
Laudamini, accept my request. I just
I
sent you a
will.
request. Yeah, Ricky dot and underscore.
I will, brother. I will.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem.
Have a great time.
So, I just have to accept that we have been joined by a group. We have to consider the gender for equity. We have Katalia Paliska. So, Katalia Paliska, I'm sure you have joined us. Oh, Katalia Paliska. Oh man, I can see you have like some network issues, or it's on my phone. But Patrick,
Yeah,
I
me, I can
think
hear you.
Yeah, we lost her.
yeah, we lost him, man. So, Patrick,
Yes.
you know, when I posted that I'm gonna be speaking to an American guy today, people thought that it's comedy, man. That I'm just kidding.
Well, it's not all times comedy.
Man, this is something serious. You know, I was telling
Mm.
OLUWADAMINI that talking in Africa that
Oh,
you're
sorry.
talking to someone.
Sorry. I pronounced it wrongly. So it is
Yeah,
Oluwadamini.
yeah,
Yeah.
OLUWADAMINI.
Yes.
Sorry for wrong pronunciation.
So I was telling OLUWADAMINI rather
Mm-hmm.
that here in Africa, especially in Kenya, like someone can quit their job just to go for a vacation to the United States, man.
Yeah.
So it's such a privilege.
It's considered the land of milk and honey.
Yeah, sure,
Milk
sure.
and honey.
Is it?
It's the land of salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
um,
Oluwadamini, have you ever been to Kenya?
No, I haven't. I have actually never been able to really afford to leave the country, believe it or
Oh,
not. So, yeah.
oh. What about any country in Africa? Or you've never
No,
visited any country in Africa?
no, I never left this country. I never could afford
Oh.
it.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, Kenya is also a good country.
Yes, I hear so many great things. I can't wait to be able to. But
Mm-hmm.
when I'm able to, I definitely
Mm-hmm.
would be. That would be one of the places I stop through. Okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, when you come here, we'll meet and we will talk and we have a great conversation. We have some drinks and you know,
That's cool.
yeah.
I'm always down for a party.
Oh, exactly. That's nice.
Someone asked in the chat, what do we do? What do I think the future holds for the Black community?
yeah.
Um, just the Black community as a whole. I was speaking to a brother yesterday. If we don't continue to educate like ourselves and younger people, I really feel like we're gonna be in trouble, like worldwide. And if we don't recognize our strength in numbers, because everywhere, well, not in Africa, but definitely here, like we're considered the minority, and they teach us that, and they teach us that we're the minority of the world, which is not true. And they teach us that so we won't know our power. But if we realize our power and our strength in numbers globally, a lot of stuff that's happening in Black communities in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Ghana, and China, and the Middle East, and India, because it's Black people in India, and Australia, and Brazil, and South America, and Mexico, here in the States, and Britain. If we realize our strength as Black,
Oh, Dennis,
Oh, can you hear me?
yes,
there's
we
a
back,
problem with your
brother.
network.
Yeah, sure. I was trying to communicate to Miriam
Mm-hmm.
so that she can afford to join our video, but I don't know like what's the problem with that. Maybe let me try to invite Maria Dia Model maybe to stand on
Okay.
her behalf.
Okay, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if she's live. I don't want to be biased. I want to give the male and the female both 50-50, chances, opportunities.
Yeah.
Equality.
Yeah,
Yes,
affirmative. So,
and for our sisters that's in the chat too,
Oh
feel
shit!
free
I'm not
to
even
post
interested in
questions.
doing.
yeah. Oh, Miriam,
Yes,
how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Hey, sister.
You shy? You shy, bro?
No, I'm not shy, of course. How can a journalist be shy? Pete's sake.
Of all the people, how can you be shy? And I know
Of
that you are
all the people,
brilliant,
how can
bro.
I be shy?
Yeah. So as you can see, this is not a Kenyan bro. He's an American bro. Mark the word American.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. You sent me a message and told me that you're going to be interviewing or having a discussion with somebody from the America or the United States of America. So yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So I think you can take the opportunity if you have any questions, so you can ask him. This is not just a normal opportunity. Getting someone to the States and giving you the time to communicate to him is not, something easy.
Yeah, true. But I think I would rather listen because I just joined. So, yeah, I would rather
Oh,
know. Yeah,
you just joined?
yeah. I just actually joined. I just got home.
Oh,
I just joined.
okay.
I'm sorry I was late.
Oh, I thought you were listening, but it's okay. You can still take your time.
Yeah.
I think they are lost. Patrick
Yeah.
and Oluwadamini.
Yeah. They
I
they
think,
disappeared, and I don't even remember requesting to join, but I put myself
one thing
here
is
though.
that, okay, there was a certain group who was supposed to join,
Uh-huh.
but I think her network just came up with some issues. So I just thought that maybe I could invite you to stand up for her.
Okay.
And though, let me try.
I think she actually texted and said, "I'm already here, guys. I can hear you."
Yeah, okay, let me try to accept his request. So Oluwadamini is coming back on there. Yeah, there he is.
Oh
So,
yeah, I can hear
okay. So do you have any questions for our bro here? Or any comments,
you.
concern, or you?
Not now, not now. Let me just do the listening bit for now.
Oh, okay. So in short, I think, hey, bro. So she has just joined right now, so she has not been listening to what we have been saying, so she cannot ask anything because she never heard of what we are talking about, you know.
Gotcha.
So I can brief her. So we were talking about racism and LGBT. So we were trying to converse about how the LGBT persons are being discriminated, the homophobia that they are facing, and also racism. Like we know Africans, you know, in some countries, I'm sorry to say so, I hear like they are, okay, let me not mention that word, like because we are both Africans and I may feel humiliated. So we are being called, you
True.
know, funny words. But the thing that made me, you know, feel like we have attained some respect from a white person is that Joe Biden. I heard that Joe Biden did kneel down and apologize to the son of George Floyd.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
I heard that. Also,
yeah,
he did give like his condolences to the families, and things like that.
yeah,
But at the same time, Joe Biden he refuses to pass any kind of legislation or anything to criminalize cops
yeah.
from it happening again. So
Mm.
it's good to give your condolences, but it's like, what are you doing to change it?
Yeah, yeah, I get you. So I think hoping that we have talked about the sensitive discussions, as in these discussions rather, we can maybe call it a wrap because I know your hand also is also tired. It's just that you're just trying as a man not to, you know, not to show that your hand is tired, you know.
No, I'm fine. You're fine. And plus, we didn't. I don't think we finished all the topics.
Oh, really? We forgot something because I thought I wrote on the topic. Oh, yeah, because I think my only question which might be remaining is on my part, like, do you think, okay, I'm gonna ask you the question and I'm gonna, when you give your response, I'm gonna give my response too.
Okay.
So yeah, do you think that maybe the LGBT community is going to be accepted in the future, maybe by the society? Do you think that maybe the homophobia one day might go down, or maybe it's gonna be the same?
Um, the way I see
Yeah,
is that everything always comes to light, and I realize that even being a DL or down low brother, right,
yeah,
is always is always gonna come to light some kind of way.
yeah,
And I feel like the world will come to a point where they have to accept people for who they are, no matter what they are,
yeah,
whether they are LGBT, whether they're and by no means, because I have to put this, a lot of people, especially me, being a pedophile,
yeah,
victimizing children in any way, which I am totally
yeah.
against. And
Hmm.
so we have to control that narrative too. Like being me, loving the same sex doesn't make me a freak or, you know,
Sure.
and it takes for us to control the narrative and have hard conversations with people in
Yeah.
order for that to happen. But I do
Mm.
feel like as like the LGBTQ plus black community as a whole,
Yeah.
that it will become it won't have no other choice but to be accepted because it's people who of high prominence whose
Yeah.
children are these people that's a part of our community. And
Hmm.
um, people can't continue to ostracize us as they did with, it's the same thing that happened with slaves, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't continue to ostracize a group of people just because you feel a type of way about them.
Yeah.
And eventually, these people are going to wake up. So it's either going to be a revolution.
Mm.
It's either gonna be it's either gonna be a bloodless or bloodshed, because no revolution happens without bloodshed. And even though, like,
Yeah,
we
affirmative.
have already had to go through that here in the United States with the Stonewall riots, and we still see it now with the killing of gay and trans people. So, and these families and these communities and these organizations, they're getting tired of these
Yeah.
things.
Sure.
And it's happening, and it's happening on the African continent too. So I have to commend the work that you all are doing in Kenya, because you are literally putting your lives on the line
Sure.
just to have a voice. And it took
Mm.
leaders like that in history. It took leaders like that in
Yeah.
history to bring about change.
Mm.
And the thing is, we just need to grow more. Like, it needs to be more of us and more allies who are willing
Mm.
to stand up against the power structures that be, and whatever that may take, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, on my part, I do agree with everything that you've said. Everything that you've said was just powerful. Each and every word was a PowerPoint. Let me comment that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, brother.
you're welcome. So here in Kenya, so I think that might take forever. That might take the end of the world, especially here in Africa. So, because I remember when Barack Obama came to Kenya, I think you can recall that.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so he did request the president to accept about the LGBT rights, the LGBTs matters, and the president, so unfortunately, did comment that that is a non-issue here in Kenya,
Right, right.
and
And
that I had did close a lot of monetaries from US of the aid donations. And okay, maybe it might be a non-issue to him, but I think if it could be a non-issue to him, then he could have done something so that he can create more jobs for these LGBT people. Because he said that it's a non-issue, but he did nothing about it. Because I think here in Kenya, I think 10 of okay in maybe 2 out of 10 youths are the only people who are employed.
mm,
So unemployment here is rampant. You find out of 10 boys sitting or standing somewhere, two of them are the only ones who are employed. Like the 8 ones are not employed, you see.
mm-hmm.
And especially if you come out as LGBT. I think I told you there was a media personality by the name Anita Nderu, but I mean, the time she confessed that she is lesbian, she just lost her job, she lost the endorsements. But I see people like Anderson Cooper of CNN. I'm sure you know Anderson Cooper of CNN.
I know of him, yeah.
Yeah, he still have endorsements. He still receives everything. So I think the Africans need to get off the uncivilization mind, because that's how I can call it. Because I don't see how my sexuality is gonna affect someone. It's my sexuality, and I believe no one chose to be born how they were born.
Yes, and just to piggyback off that, a lot of older Africans, continental
Yeah,
Africans, they think that homosexuality comes from colonization,
yeah,
which is a big myth. It's a big
yeah,
myth. It existed in traditional African practices
mm,
long before
yeah,
colonization. And
yeah,
I will say that, as far as the leaders, they won't
yeah,
care unless they can feel like it affects them in some way, whether
sure,
it's
sure.
cutting off their money sources or whatever the case may be. But it's going to
Mm,
take a group effort. It kind of reminds me of the African Union a little bit. But you
yeah,
have LGBT organizations in different African countries.
yeah,
Um,
affirmative.
it would be like, it would be crucial for you all to form some kind of alliance,
Mm,
to have a um, consistent and impactful and strategic
yeah, mm,
plan to hold the powers that be um, accountable.
oh, affirmative. So I think we have a question here. Like we have Etipefa. No, it's okay. I may not call this a question. It's just a suggestion. So he's just suggesting, could we discuss on the effects of the strings attached details that drain Africa of its resources in the 21st century?
You want to answer that first, or you want, because I can talk about that too.
Or prefer you just had that yourself? So that may be a little bit difficult.
No, not at all.
Yeah, yeah,
I would say the effects on strains attached. Yes.
yeah,
For one, a lot of African countries are still regrouping from colonization. A lot of
yeah,
African countries, their liberation is new. We're talking about 1960s, right?
yeah,
And basically, what Europeans did with slaves here, European
yeah.
countries did with African countries. Like, go ahead and pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. And then they
Mm-hmm.
implanted people in power who have been in power since, right?
Yeah,
And people
affirmative.
have to realize they strategically put these people in power because they
Mm-hmm.
know they will hold on to their interests, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
now that you have like people our age, we're waking up and like something not right, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um, so and again, it takes strategy to figure out these things and how to combat these things. But you got to learn the root first to know what you're fighting against. You
Yeah,
can't just be like,
affirmative.
"Oh, I want to go fight against the president of Kenya," yeah, because you'll be fighting a losing battle, right? But it
Yeah,
is
sure,
different
sure.
things in place because every every country has a power structure, whether it's
Yeah.
education,
Mm-hmm.
military, health. Like it has a power structure, and once you start cutting those power structures one by one,
Yeah,
the rest of it don't have no other choice but to come crumbling down.
yeah,
And
sure.
like and just like Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, like it's plenty of resources that come from these countries that the world still
Affirmative.
use, that the world
Mm-hmm.
still use, and that the world wouldn't be shit if they didn't have, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
affirmative.
and when we learn to tap into those resources, it'd be like, no,
Mm.
this ain't going on unless my people got this, that, and the third.
Yeah, yeah.
This ain't nothing moving from here unless this is happening, unless my family is
This is
fed. Um,
that's patriotism.
and we
Mm.
got to start having that kind of mindset, kind of like guerrilla warfare, right? We got to
Mm.
have that kind of mindset when it comes to these people. And don't get me on the Chinese, because we're the Asians coming
Okay.
into Africa, and they are like basically recolonizing Africa. That's basically
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing, and it's not helping Africa. It's helping them become a stronger China, right? And so
Yeah,
we
right,
got
sure.
to figure out ways how to be like, okay, you want to be a strong China, well, we want to be a strong Africa too, and
Yeah,
this is what it's going to take, right? But
affirmative.
it's coming up with those demands, and coming up with strategic ways on how to get these demands. But you have to learn like the power structures and who, like I say, follow the money.
Yeah.
If you follow the money, it would tell you your leader's interests. I'm trying to
Usually,
it would not fail you.
I think you try to elaborate in the most factual and humorous way possible, and I did like that. So there's a guy here saying, do you believe do you believe African countries will come to accept and approve LGBT as legal? So I think we did talk about that, and I think Africa, especially Kenya, that's going to be a hard task. But we can say like everything is possible. Let us just give it time, and we're gonna see maybe the 22nd century, or at the end of the 21st century, rather, we're gonna have a more understanding person who is gonna understand that this is not just a choice. This is a natural thing that people should be accepted the way they are, and no one is supposed to judge the other person. Only God is supposed to judge the other person.
Yes, and it's going to take
Yeah,
unity. It's going to take unity for that to happen. It's going to take us to continue to stand
yeah,
together across the world, right?
yeah, for sure.
In order for that to happen, like, and we got to have a mindset of like Ubuntu, I am
Yeah.
because we are. And
Mm.
when we start to have that mindset, we won't care to look down on someone because they're gay or because whatever have you is whatever I got to do to uplift the community as a whole. And until we like get away from that individualistic mindset, like you're gay, so that's gonna affect whatever, or that's gonna affect me however, or I just don't like it. Like we got to get outside of that. And unfortunately, we're older. It's not just older Africans, even older Black people here, like my grandmother, type stuff. Man, and I don't even want
Lost you.
family come from
Um,
a Baptist
yeah.
background, which has a lot to do
Mm.
with them disregarding me and like disowning me
Sorry about that.
when they found out
Sorry
about
about that.
me, right?
Mm.
And but it took for me to have hard conversations with my own grandmother to get her to
Mm.
understand that what you portraying to me is not love. That's not love,
Yeah.
right? You can't say that you love
Yeah.
me and you telling me that you hate me or you hate the way or hate anything about me at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, sure.
And my grandma, she's 97 years old. So,
Oh,
and
wow.
she's just coming around to see like, damn, like I love my grandson and all that he
Mm.
is. And I don't care as long as he's around me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, affirmative. Uh, I see. I can see Etipefa saying or asking rather, what role does religion play in victimizing the LGBTQ community?
Oh my God. And I could talk all day about that.
Mm.
And it's not just, and I gotta say it's not just Christianity.
Yeah.
It's the mostly the majority, the major world religions who
Yep.
goes against just you're supposed to be just man and woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and the thing is, it doesn't. It only tell those books and these religious texts only tell half the story. It only tell
Mm-hmm.
like I
Yeah.
tell people. Well, I'm pretty sure you heard the saying too. There's always three sides to a story:
Yeah.
the both sides and then the truth. So we only like going in these religious texts. We only see one side of the story, so we don't know like unless you dig
Sorry. I can get you.
how gay
You're
is
getting
looked
lost.
at.
Yeah. Mm.
You really don't see the like perception of how being gay or being trans is perceived
Mm.
in these older cultures, right?
Yeah. 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 Sure.
And
Affirmative.
like as a hold on, it's like a hold on, especially Black communities, because I won't even say not to say that white LGBT people don't face oppression, but it's more
Yeah.
so
Sure.
in Black communities
Yeah. I
because
guess.
for one, older Africans feel like it come from colonization. A lot of
Mm.
people here in the Americas feel like it come from colonization and slavery
Yeah.
called
Mm.
buck breaking, when they will fuck men in front of their women, in front of their families, just to like demean them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, especially in Jamaica, that's why Jamaican culture is the way that it is, and
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
they really hate gays because the Jamaican slaves were a part of that. A lot of them were in that buck breaking practice,
Yeah. Mm.
and so like so it's not just religion, but it's also like um uh like a cultural thing too that we
Mm. Yeah.
feel
Sure.
came from a white man, um, and it's really harmful. It's really harmful.
Yeah.
Like you got people commit suicide. You got people who are on drugs. You got people who are uncomfortable talking about their sexuality, and they
Mm.
may get affected with HIV/AIDS, and they don't want to talk
Mm.
about that with no one, and they're spreading it into our community. So it's so many
Yeah.
different underlying factors where it's a form of genocide, really, because
Mm.
we're the ones that dying the most from this,
Yeah.
from these ideologies, right?
Yeah. Sure. one thing one thing that makes me, feel motivated is about Lil Nas X. You know Lil Nas X?
Lil Nas X, yes, I know.
Man, that guy is crazy. Lil Nas doesn't give a damn about what people say about his sexuality, about, how he shoots his video, him being naked.
No, he doesn't care, and we
Yeah,
need that. We need that form of expression, artistic
yeah, sure.
expression. And whether and
Yeah,
the thing, one thing I love about Lil Nas X, none of us know if it's
yeah,
true or not,
yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
None of
Yeah.
us really know if it's true or not. But the fact that he uses his platform for expression,
Yeah.
to liberate so many people. Like I have respect for him just for that, whether it's true or not. But at least that he's given this young boy who's 14 years old, scared to come out. He's giving him a
Hmm.
voice, right?
Wow.
He's giving people a voice that might be married or with kids, giving them um, the courage to say, "Honey, I think I'm attracted to men," or
Yeah.
my daughter, my son, this is my situation. I'm sorry that I got
Yeah.
y'all into that, but
Mhm.
just allowing that to even happen. So
Yeah.
yes, definitely kudos to people like him.
And
And I
the
will
thing
say
here,
it was people like him in history, like the king of the bisexual king of Uganda. It was called Buganda, I think, back then. But
oh,
he also stood up similar, like against, especially against white people and his own people. And now
mm,
that's where Martyrs Day come from, right?
oh,
In Uganda, and it's separate and it's celebrated as like the people that were killed, like the people that he had, like he was the one that was the murderer of it all, or the bad person, when he was just standing up for what he believed, what he loved, like, and these people traded against him. So for colonizers, so like I think about stuff like that when Lil Nas come up, like because it's definitely um situations like from our ancestors that play a factor into that. Like it was a slave who cross dressed and did shows, and was very good at it back in the 1800s. And he didn't care what his slave masters thought. He didn't care what fellow slaves thought or whatever. And it and he still was successful.
you're the one who got lost. I was just trying to get you. So you're saying about Lil Nas X, how he doesn't care about people are gonna say about the slave masters.
No, I was saying about a slave
Yeah,
who did drag and was a cross dresser,
yeah, yeah,
and back in the 1800s, who didn't care
yeah.
that what fellow slaves felt about him or his slave masters.
And I can see Etipefa here commenting, and I was almost to say the same thing, that it was a positive move for the Catholic Pope to support the LGBTQ community. I hope other your smile just confused me a little, so I hope other religious leaders will follow the same. And I do agree with him. Though that came to myself as a surprise, I never thought the Pope could say such kind of a thing, because you find like the church is the one condemning.
Um, yes, I would
Yeah.
say he's one of the most progressive.
Mm.
But as far as it relates, especially to the Catholic community,
Yeah.
which I had to have this discussion with a white brother on Twitter because he tried to
Yeah.
say that black people, we're the ones with the highest HIV and syphilis rates, and we're the ones with the highest incest rates and stuff like that.
That's
Which I
savage.
had
Yeah.
to explain to him, like a part of the Catholic Church are the main ones who are abusing boys, where this pedophile ideology come from, who people automatically tied to LGBTQ. They automatically tied right, these priests who have molested these children and think that it's okay and have got away with it for years. For I'm talking about hundreds and thousands of years this has happened.
Yes. Yeah.
And now LGBTQ plus people are suffering from that, from not only being victims of homophobia, but we're
Yeah.
also being victims of this ideology. All of us, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Which is definitely not the case. And a lot of these priests are still getting away with these things.
Yeah. Sure. So I think the Pope should look at that, and I think even the priests maybe should be allowed to marry. You know, if marrying is the issue that is making them maybe to turn around to the boys and be some of the sodomizers. Rather, I think they should be given the opportunity. If one feels like they cannot control their emotions and feelings, they should have, you know, the freedom, the liberation of them to engage in marriage.
Right, right.
Yeah. Mm.
And I'm not at all talking down on priests because I know we all have our personal problems and
Yeah.
none
Sure.
of us are perfect, right? But
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like also, especially as being a child who was molested by men and women, I got to
What?
make that known, by
You?
men and women, yes.
Yeah,
And
sorry about that.
it's cool because
Yeah,
all these things that I talk about that I have experienced have made me who I am today and why I fight for the things that I fight for.
yeah.
And like, if you feel yourself attracted to someone who you know is a
Mm-hmm. Hello, I think OLUWADAMINI, I lost you. Mariam, are you there? Hello, I can't hear anyone. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you're there.
Yeah.
You just joined us, and I think OLUWADAMINI's connection just um has some interruptions, but I hope that he's going to be joining us. Leo sijui English imeenda wapi, sijui ni vile sikuwa prepared. Kuna kuanga na English fulani na kuanga nayo mzito, lakini uh, but hoping you can hear me. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. OLUWADAMINI is getting back. I think there's an issue with his connection. Let me try to get back to him. Miriam?